agenda. So we have a motion by Mr. Johnson, second by Mr. Jones. Any discussion? All in favor say aye. Any opposed? All right, motion carries. At this time, I'll ask you to stand, and I'll ask Mr. Devin Fish to lead us in the pledge of allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Now, can I get a motion for approval of tonight's consent agenda? So moved. Got a motion by Mr. Bennett, second by Mr. Brown. Any discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. All right, moving on to, we have no public comment, so we'll move on to student advisory report.
All right, we'll invite our student advisory or student advisory member, Mr. Devin Fish, but we also have Lauren Sparkman. Lauren is going to be with us tonight, and so she'll sit back there and keep us all on our toes, and Devin will come up and give us a report on their meeting that took place, I believe, last week sometime. So Devin?
First off, we want to start off with our sports news for the week. We're going to start off with cross country. They kicked off last week at their community invitational. We had first place finishers, Emma Woodley and Malachi Wiltshire. And the girls finished third place overall, and the boys finished fifth. Softball, we want to give congratulations to Lola Wales, as she's committed to Tennessee Tech for the next 4 years. Special Olympics, Chuck Catalfi, I think, I don't know if I'm saying that right. He's been asked to coach Tennessee's pickleball team in the USA Games for Special Olympics, as well as Ms. Lori DeArmond has been asked to coach bocce ball in the USA Games for Special Olympics. And then we'll get to our club news. The Climate Committee, they're going to continue to shower teachers with kindness and have Student of the Month nominations. And FBLA, they've started their new chapter, and they've done strong. They've had over 140 students to their platform so far, and they're preparing for an upcoming conference in Lebanon on November 4th. HOSA, they're going to be trying to host at least 3 blood drives this year. It's a bump up from 2 as the years opposed. Student ambassadors, they've helped with freshman orientation night, helping the freshman night with anything to do done. Youth leadership has added 8 new members for the school year. And the student advisory committee has they've remarked that the lunches and traffic have been a problem that had both gotten better as this fall.
All right, any questions for Devin?
Thank you.
And we will agree. Traffic has been a challenge, but we're getting better. So, thanks, Devin.
I got a question real quick, and you don't have to, and Lauren probably can. I know last year when they done the club drive, it seemed like the numbers were just huge. Does that seem the same this year with the club drive? Are you guys part of that and see that we see an uptick in the students that are committing to clubs and things like that?
Yes. I actually got a lot of people from Moyapa Zeta, which was really surprising to me because it's a math club. Hopefully they commit. But it was really cool to see how many people were reaching out and trying to sign up for clubs. Really uplifting and encouraging.
Yeah, we like to take a little bit of credit for that cell phone policy, because that was one of the things that they told us when we done all the research, that those things would typically have an uptake in schools and school districts that are doing the cell phone policy. You know, so my daughter's in a freshman now, so I appreciate that, getting her involved in a lot of things, and she seems to be enjoying that. So,
I have one quick question. Do you happen to know how many clubs Montaigne High School offers?
No, sir.
I have been told a number. I was kind of shocked that it was as many as.
that number you got.
I was told 200, but I don't know if that's true. It seems a little high, but.
Yeah, I don't have the exact number either. I can get you that. I think 200 is probably a little high, but we can get you that because those are supposed to be.
Correct. Anything else? All right, thank you guys. Moving on to recognitions.
All right, fun time of year when we are able to continue to recognize our employees of the year. So if you all remember that all of the employees of the month are entered into one, I won't call it a contest, that seems a little different. But one of the employees of the month is chosen as the employee of the year. And so at this meeting, we recognize them. And they actually are going to get a certificate, and it will be $100 added to their next paycheck. So I know it's not something going to make you rich, but maybe you get a nice dinner at your next paycheck. So Heather Williamson is our certified employee of the year. Heather is a teacher at Irving College, and I'm going to go back to her original nomination and read that, and then we'll ask her to come up and take a picture. So this nomination was made by Madison McMillan, and she said, "I am excited to nominate Heather Williamson for Employee of the Month in October. She's an incredible teacher who truly delivers this recognition. Despite facing significant challenges, recently battling breast cancer, she has continued to provide unwavering support to our students at Irving College. Her dedication and diligent planning ensure that her students never miss out on quality education. We are truly fortunate to have Heather as part of our Irving College family, and in honor of Breast Cancer Awareness Month, I would love to celebrate her strength and commitment as an amazing teacher." So she was selected in October, but we're happy to also report that she is our certified employee of the year. So congratulations. Good to have your picture made.
Me too.
You too, Madison.
Ms. Wiltshire, going up there.
Yes, you're in. Let's take it.
In the middle. In the middle, yeah, thank you.
All right, so our classified employee of the year is Ms. Kayla Milstead from Centertown Elementary, where she's a third grade teacher assistant. She was nominated by Jessica Alford and Megan Creedmoor and Haley Nelson. So I'll read to what was submitted with her nomination. Third grade would like to nominate Kayla Milstead for non-certified employee of the month. She is the third grade aide at Centertown, and she always goes above and beyond to help us, her teammates. And more importantly, she does everything possible for the kids. She has truly been a blessing and has helped ease some of our stress. We love her, and we don't know what we would do without her, and that has continued even into this school year. So we will glad to recognize Ms. Kayla Milstead as the classified employee of the year for Warren County Schools. Come on up. Those that nominate her, you can come with her and make it. All right, continuing on, recognizing some of our employees. This is starting our next year, for this school year, our employees of the month. And so we're happy to recognize the classified employee of the month for August 2025, nominated by Ms. Deidre Wiles. As the winner of this is Mary Jennifer Dunlap, works here as our compliance manager. And I'll read what Mrs. Wiles had to say. I'd like to nominate Ms. Mary Jennifer Dunlap for Employee of the Month. As the compliance manager, Mary Jennifer is not only an invaluable resource, but also the go-to person for everyone's questions. She wears many hats and approaches each inquiry with a smile, grace, and her signature greeting, "Hey there." Warren County Schools is truly fortunate to have Mary Jennifer on our team. I hope she recognizes the significant impact she has on everyone she interacts with and understands how much we all appreciate everything she does. So, as the primary person she keeps in line, I will just say amen to what Deidre said and thank Mary Jennifer as our employee of the month. All right, last but not least, our certified employee of the month for August 2025 is Ms. Camille Brown. She's a kindergarten teacher at Urban College, and she was nominated by Blakeney Taylor, I believe is a parent at Urban College, right? And so, man, what a great, it's a beautiful picture of a parent nominating a teacher is wonderful. So I'll read what she said. She, saying this about Mrs. Brown, she is the most loving, caring teacher I've ever met. The way she treats her students as her own is so admirable. You can tell she truly enjoys what she does. And so we're happy to recognize Camille Brown as our Certified Employee of the Month for August. Just me. Randy, you want to get in?
I would rather just take a picture.
Well, let somebody take a picture and then we'll get you.
Thank you.
Oh, man.
I know. Congratulations.
All right, moving on to school spotlight.
All right, board members, I will not belabor this point, but in your packet, you have an update from all of our schools, and so it's there for you to read. And this is just a way for you to have an update about what's going on in each of our schools. We have asked them in the past to come present at the meeting, and while that's been good, that's a lot of time for everybody, and so this is a great, and you will get this every month. So you'll have an opportunity to read through that. If you've got questions on this day, we're not kicking you out.
Can we come back?
Absolutely. The door's open.
Oh, I was waiting to get in the car.
While they're leaving, I do want to say one thing. I want to thank several of our local businesses who donated gifts and stuff, and individuals who donated to these prizes for the employees of the month and employees of the year. So we'll give them a shout out later. All right, moving on to facilities and resources. Hey, David.
We'll ask Mr. Northcutt to come up and talk to us about what's going on in his world, which is always a lot.
All right, the report this month, we'll start out with the west basement project. We've been working on this along and everything, but I do have good news this month. Last month I reported that we were negotiating a price because of the increase for the fire marshal codes and first one thing and another. We did work that price out, and we have got everything worked out, and there was a change order that was in a consent agenda tonight that was passed. So I'll start in the morning and get that PO ready, and I actually met with the contractors a week ago, and they're ready to go. They're ready to go. So maybe we can get that finally started. That's been a long time coming. The new restroom building at Nunley Stadium, last month I said that we were waiting to get the sewer line tied into the city. All of that has done, everything's up and running, and I wasn't at the ball game Friday night, but I'm assuming they were operational.
I had some friends, David, from Smithville, and they was highly complimentary, and I appreciate it.
Yeah, I appreciate that. They turned out real nice. They really did. We started the playground pavilion at West. That was framed up, And I was hoping that it would be, that I could report that it was finished tonight, but the material that was ordered when they cut the metal for the roof, it was actually cut a foot too short, so we had to reorder. And I talked to the contractor today, and he said that when he ordered that, he told him he needed it by tomorrow. So he's put a rush on that, that he's doing his best to try to get it finished. And it should finish up pretty quick. The new sports lighting project for the fields is underway. They finished the football stadium and the baseball field at the middle school. During that time and process, there was a hiccup found in the contract deal, so we had to put all of that on hold until that gets worked out. We are trying to get all that worked through and get worked out so that we can get the high school fields finished. But as of right now, it is on hold. And the greenhouse at the high school now has new panels in it. Those panels have had some busted places in it from the softball field right adjacent to it, and there were some holes in it. First one thing and another, and the panels were faded and yellowed, and we now have new panels in that greenhouse so that everything can grow the way it should. That's all I have as far as the updates.
David, I got a question, and I think if I remember correctly, in your plan for this year was updating the bleachers at Centertown School?
Yes.
Is that still, I know
Yes.
that's probably not going to happen
It
before
is
basketball season starts.
Yeah, it may be on toward Christmas break or whatever, you know, it may even be after the basket. I don't know when the season will actually be over with, but that's actually a slow process, but, you know, we try to do that in-house. We done the ones at Eastside, and I like the way they turned out. I don't know about everybody, but I thought that they turned out real nice.
Yeah, those, that east side, I like they look real nice out there.
Yeah.
David, where are we at with Upland on the renovation of the cafeteria at the high school?
They're still in the designing phase as far as I know. Yes.
Yeah, I have a preliminary design on that, but we asked them to go back and potentially add a couple additional things to it. Still waiting to hear back from them on that.
David, I know that the blinds company came out to the middle school. Can you give us any updates on what they were doing or where they're at?
There was a motor when they put them, that last set up. There was a motor that was bad, and they came back and replaced that motor. It was in the auditorium. There was one blind that didn't get put up because of the motor being bad, and they just put it up and put that last blind up. Thank you.
Thank you, David.
Thank you.
Okay.
All right, moving on to operations report, Dr. Wallace.
All right, thank you. What we typically do in August is give you an enrollment update, and then also Mr. Wilmore gave you an update on our personnel at the last meeting. Again, happy to report in August that we are still fully staffed. But one of the things that we like to do is also in August talk to you about the substitute teacher, give you an update. Ms. Chelsea Crisp heads that up for us, and wanted to report to you that we currently have 141 active substitute teachers, with 48 more in the onboarding process. So we typically want to have that right around that number, 150. So we'd like to be above and beyond that if we can. And of course, again, we'll take anybody and all that wants to substitute. So we have an application online. So if you will go to warrenschools.com and go to our job applications, we would love for you to apply to be a substitute. All active substitutes have completed their mandatory My Benefits Channel trainings this summer and are eager to get going. We handed out hiring information at open houses. Of course, you all approved this year's pay rates, $95 per day for non-certified, and $110 per day for certified teachers. They've updated our tracker that we use to make sure that teachers and staff can allow to pick up these jobs. It's called Sub-Tracker. It's greatly reduced the time it takes to enter leave days and has improved our efficiency. And so again, we want to appreciate those folks. You know, many of our subs almost work every day. And so they work really hard with our kids. I happened to be in a classroom at one of our elementary schools the other day and walked in and sat down to watch, and one of our subs, I think, was thrown off by the fact that I walked in to watch, and she said, "The real teacher's not here." And I said, "Hey, that's all right, it's no problem." And she was teaching the lesson and going to work, so just like our subs do. So we want to make sure that they understand how much we appreciate them. And so wanted to give you that update. I'm happy to answer any questions you might have about that before we move on.
On a typical day, do you know a rough number of what you usually have subs?
Goodness, depends on what day. If it's a Friday, we're probably using everybody. You know, a typical day, you're probably going to be between 50 and 100 in any typical day with the number of schools we have and spots that we have. Again, that's going to be higher and lower, but again, it's a fairly large number.
With the increase in pay in the sub-tracker, is it ease the burden on filling these positions and these things?
Yeah, I think so. I think that's a big part of it. I think, again, one of the reasons I said that pay rate out there is because that is fairly attractive to especially those that are eligible to do that. And again, we had some bumps in the road when we brought this back in-house with our software, but as we said, Sub-Tracker has had major improvements as we've gone along, and so that's one thing that I don't want to talk back about in 2020 and 2021, where we barely had any subs. I'm happy that we've moved on and are having some more success with this program. All right. No more questions, I'll move on. All right, school updates. Is that just a duplicate? Okay. We won't point that out to anybody. Let's talk about student enrollment, all right? So typically we have a better idea at the end of August about student enrollment than we do at the beginning, because we have a lot of no-shows that will, you know, if they go to another school system that starts later than we do, we might typically not have a request for records, and so we don't know where those go. And so really, when we get to the end of August, that's the reason I'm cautiously optimistic when we talk about enrollment. But I will say that over the weekend, we started to drop some students based on the fact that they were not enrolled or not showing up for school. As we expected, we have a drop in enrollment compared to this year, compared to last year. At this time, we're between 50 and 100, right around, I'd say about 70, 72, somewhere around in there, compared to last year at this time. We have some schools that are up. Bibrel, for an example, is up about 25 students. But Centertown is down about that same amount. Eastside is down, Hickory Creek is down, Urban College is up. Warren Connect is down some. They're still getting some of their enrollments in, so that number I anticipate will go up. Morrison's a little bit down, Bobby Ray's a little bit down. Warren Academy is up, unfortunately. That's not the one we want to go up. Warren County Middle School is a little bit down. The high school is actually up from a year ago at this time, and West is down. So this is not something that we are surprised about. We knew that there was going to be a large, or not a large, but there was going to be a decrease in enrollment simply because of the Education Freedom Act and the scholarships that were available. But I will tell you, I don't have an exact number of homeschool students that we have, but when I talked to Mr. Martin the other day, it's already to the number of students that were homeschooled completely at its highest level last year. I will say that there's a new program in Warren County, Orchard Grove, that is a homeschool collective, and so I don't know what their enrollment looks like, but I do anticipate that that had something to do with that homeschool enrollment going up for Warren County Schools. So I also want to say this, because when we talk about enrollment, that typically means we worry about funding. But just also remember that with the Education Freedom Act, that there was a floor established by that act last year that says that disenrollments from last year will still be funded at the same level for each school system this year for non-virtual school students. So we do anticipate that even though if our enrollment does drop, which we knew that it would, that we should be funded at the same level that we were last year from the state. And so hopefully that will continue on for several years. So happy to answer any questions on that, but I do want you to be aware that that number has dipped as we expected.
Is there any way, or do we know if the state is tracking the number of students that are leaving the district going, using that Education Freedom Act scholarship?
From what I'm told, they will not track that. They've made a statement they will not report on that.
That's not for sure. And this is a little bit off the topic, but I said something, I guess, last month. Do we have a number on that third grade retention number of how many kids that affected from this past year?
Yeah, Nicole Crouch is supposed to report that up, and so once that's finalized, they give it, because if you remember, we had to wait on adequate growth, and so there were some decisions that had to be made. Once that report is finalized, I'll get that to you next month, or I can provide it before that, and then if you want to discuss it next month, I'm happy to. Any other questions on enrollment?
What is the total enrollment?
Yep, we are right under 6,000, about 5,975, I believe. That's a rough estimate. All right, we'll move on to item 9D, which is a general purpose budget amendment. It's number 2. If you're following along on BOE Connect, you'll see that that's pulled up. So there was a stipend given to our pre-K teachers if they went to a training. And so all we're doing with this budget amendment is it's a pass-through. So the state is providing it, and we are providing it out to our teachers. Our pre-K teachers that did do this. Now, one of the things that we also included in this is that we're trying to take the local, we're trying to not have the local portion taken out. So we're doing that as a school system for those teachers. So hopefully that their stipend will be a little bit more than they get. So that does need your approval. So I will submit it to you for your consideration.
All right, can I get a motion to approve general purpose 141 budget amendment number 2? Got a motion by Mr. Johnson. Second by Mr. Judkins. Any discussion over this? And all in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? All right, motion carries.
All right, moving on to item 9E is a discussion of property adjacent to Warren County Middle School. So it's been brought to my attention actually by a couple of you. There is property adjacent to Warren County Middle School, 204 Bonner Street. And you can see in your packet, there is a picture of Bonner Street, 204 Bonner Street in your packet. It is across from Nunley Stadium, and there was a house on this property built in 1929. I don't believe anybody's occupied that house for quite some time. It's not in good shape, and actually, I will tell you that before Mr. Zeckman went off the board last year, he mentioned this property then, but it's now been listed by Kirby Realty. It's about 0.73 acre lot, and so they are asking, is it 175?
Yes.
$175,000 for the lot. I guess I'm bringing it to you as a board tonight to consider. And again, this would not be approval of a purchase. What I would be asking for is if you're interested in this lot, giving me the authority to reach out to discuss what that might look like. I will say that I believe that price is a little high for the property, but again, that's what I'm bringing to you tonight as a discussion for what might be added property to the middle school. If you've been to any event at Nunley Stadium, particularly the game on Friday night, you will know we just simply don't have enough parking. And so if we were to purchase this, I think it would be incumbent upon us to see what we could do with the house on the property, whether it's demolish it or move it, and then open that lot up for more parking. But I will submit that for your discussion at this point.
All right, can I get a motion to approve Dr. Swallow's permission to research this and take on?
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
Motion by Mr. Colwell, second by Mr. Judkins. Any discussion over this?
I think this would be a good investment by the school system. This is nearly an acre lot. It would add a lot of parking. It's on the corner of Stadium Drive and Caldwell, which it states on Bonner Street, but as you know, parking's a premium anytime you have a football game or graduation or whatever.
I was just looking at this, Googling real quick about how many spots that would probably might get us, and it said in an acre lot, somewhere between 100 and 115 spaces per acre if you do it with aisles and the landscape and stuff. So in a 3/4 acre, look at probably like 75 to 85 additional parking spots right there across, you know.
And it is all level too, you know, we need to take a lot of work.
If it seems right financially, you know, it's not a big burden, I think that would be a good idea.
Given the price, I think it's kind of like the county done. I think it may have been Slim's house there next to the administrative building. They took care of that, made more parking right there. And I think this would serve the middle school well, or the middle school property. Just the other night, I think Mr. Dunlap had announced for 2 cars to be moved. They were blocking driveways. So it's obvious that parking has been mentioned, that it is a premium. So given the price, if it's negotiable, I think it's something that would be good for the school system to definitely pursue.
So I want to thank Mr. Judkins for bringing that up and bringing our attention to that again. Called me a few weeks ago about that, so I do appreciate that.
Just to be clear, we're not purchasing, we are just simply reaching out. I would have to bring this back to this board before we did anything to that. So that is not something we've budgeted for. I can see Mary Jennifer's mind going like crazy back there. So, but if you vote to approve me reaching out, I will reach out to Kirby Realty and see what kind of information we can get, and then I will bring it back to you.
Any more discussion over this?
I think it's definitely worth doing due diligence, you know, it's not committing anything yet, other than see what we can do.
So does Kirby own it, or they're selling it on the behalf of someone? Do we know who owns it?
I believe it's listed.
Yeah, it's listed.
There's an owner listed in property tax.
Right. Yep. All right, any more discussion over this before we take a vote? All right, all in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? All right, motion carries.
All right, Mr. Chairman, that's it for operations.
All right, we'll move on to curriculum achievement.
We have one policy for your consideration this evening. It is curriculum policy. It's really policy 4.301. It's revising our interscholastic athletics policy. This is something that has been added by the state, and this was just something that we did not add in July. But if you see, again, if you're following along in BOE Connect, you will see the red line. I'm not leading. Somebody kicked me off the leading. Okay, now I'm leading again. Kick me off. Yeah. All right. On the second page, on line 20, the added language is virtual school student participation. I'll read it just so that you have it in front of you. Virtual school students shall be permitted to participate in accordance with TSSAA or TMSAA guidelines. If a school is not a member of these organizations, virtual school students that are zoned for the school shall be permitted to participate in interscholastic athletics to the same extent as other students. So basically all this is saying is that if you are a virtual school student, and I'll give you the example, if you go to Warren Connect in Warren County, then you have the right to try out at your zoned school for NETMSAA sanctioned sport or TSSAA sanctioned sport. We have already been doing this. It has actually been TSSAA policy for the last 2 years. It's also TMSAA policy, but the General Assembly codified it this year, so we have to put it in our policy as specifically written.
All right, can I get a motion to approve policy 4.301 on interscholastic athletic?
And Mr. Chairman, I apologize, I'd like to ask that you adopt it on first and only.
First and only reading. Okay. Got a motion by Mr. Judkins.
Second.
Got a second by Mr. Brown. Any discussion over this? All right, all in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? All right, that motion carries. All right. Any other business?
One thing I would like for us to do is to remind our viewers that from here on out, we will be on Thursdays, not Mondays, just so they're not confused.
Yeah, for sure. I do want to point out one thing before our next meeting. September 15th, which will be 3 weeks from today, we will be doing the Morrison Gym dedication to Slim. It will be at 5 o'clock. I think Ms. Nichols emailed us about the invitation, but I think that was out publicly probably in the next week or so. We're working on getting all the signage and lettering done for that right now. Hope to see everybody there. All right, nothing else. Can I get a motion to dismiss?
So moved.
Got a motion by Mr. Colwell.
Second.
Got a second by Mr. Bennett. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Meeting is adjourned.